What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're going over some recent fight announcements. There's been a bunch of fights that have recently been announced for the UFC cards coming up, couple main events, couple fights on that Salt Lake City pay-per-view as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go through all the fight announcements, give my early quick breakdown and predictions. Let me know in the comments who you guys are picking in the fights, if you guys like the matchups or not. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first fight to talk about is Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista, which is booked for the Salt Lake City pay-per-view on October 5th, UFC 307. And it's a really weird fight. Like, is it going to be a fun fight? Yeah, probably. Like, you get Jose Aldo in there, he's going to be fun, unless it's Marab. Like, Bautista in his recent fights, I mean, he looked solid against Ricky Simone, beat him up on the feet, but, like, Simone's not all that. Before that, had a close fight with Damon Blackshear, competitive, arguable robbery. And Damon Blackshear just got KO'd in like 20 seconds by Montel Jackson. So I don't know if I rate Bautista like super highly. He did look good against Simone, right? But then Vinicius Oliveira also just whooped up Simone. So it's like, is beating Simone on the feet that impressive? Also, like, is Bautista gonna just out-wrestle Aldo? Nah. Like, I'd be surprised. If Marab couldn't take this dude down with 16 attempts, then I doubt Bautista is going to. I guess Mario Bautista could just push a pace at altitude, because we know Aldo's cardio is not tremendous. But I reckon Bautista is a worse striker than Martinez. That's my take. Maybe I'm wrong. It's close, but I would probably pick Martinez to win a purely stand-up fight between the two of them. And yeah, I just don't think he's going to take Aldo to the ground, so I don't know how he's going to win this fight, where he's going to have success. Maybe he just pushes him against the cage and just wins on control time. But apart from that, I really don't see Bautista having that much success. Aldo's looking good recently. I don't know why this fight's happening though. Like, even though I think he's going to win, it's not like, oh my god, how dare you feed Aldo to this prospect. Like, I think Aldo's probably going to win. It's like, he's a legend of the sport. He's one of the fan favorite fighters in the division right now. Arguably should be ranked top 5 after beating Martinez in his return, because he was already top 5 at bantamweight when he left. And now he's fighting number 12, Mario Bautista. I think the fan rankings, we've got him at like number 4 or some shit, but like, I don't know, it's just a weird fight. Like, Cejudo would have been better. Maybe Cejudo's injured. Even, like, Song Yadong I wouldn't have hated. At least that's, like, a higher-ranked guy. Could have been, like, the loser of Figueiredo versus Font, or the winner. Like, there's a lot of fights for Jose Aldo. I just don't know why they went to Bautista. I thought they were going to do Bautista versus Rob Font. I thought that made a lot of sense. Maybe Kyler Phillips is going to be fighting Rob Font now. That could be, like, just piecing 2 and 2 together. Not that I'm, like, super confident in that, or any sources telling me that, but, like, I don't know. It seems like that would be a fight that they would make, if not Bautista versus Font. But yeah, I think Aldo's going to cleanly outstrike him, beat him on the feet, beat him up. Altitude may be a problem, so maybe I go Aldo 29-28, wins the first 2. Bautista has a decent third, but, like, in my opinion, he lost the first 2 pretty clearly to, what's his name, Damon Blackshear. And Blackshear's not nearly as good as Jose Aldo, of course. So yeah, I just think Aldo's going to whoop him up on the feet, have a good performance. And yeah, after that, bro, give this dude one more fight, and then he could arguably get a fucking title shot. Like, I don't know why they're not trying to push Jose Aldo to the top of the division. Like, I know you want the name Jose Aldo on one of these prospects' resumes, but, like, there's better ways to do it, bro. Like, give him, if he loses and doesn't retire, then that's when you give him those guys. But right now he's winning. He deserves to jump up. So yeah, I think this is a dumb matchup to make. But I will be picking Jose Aldo pretty comfortably. Let's move on though to the next fight. The next fight to talk about is Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Royval. This is an incredible fight. This is the main event for October 12th in the Apex. I don't love the fact that it's in the Apex, but it is what it is. I'll take it. At least it's a good Apex main event. We're not getting fucking Lemos versus Jandaroba 2 in the Apex. But no, very good fight. I'm picking Taira. I think most people will be picking Taira. Not really a hot take. He's 16-0. He's undefeated. I rate him very highly. One of my favorite prospects right now. If you watch my most recent video where I ranked every undefeated fighter in the UFC, I had him pretty high up that list. So Taira, very good. And also, if you're lacking confidence on this prediction, let me just tell you something. Brandon Royval, Hispanic heritage. If you look up Brandon Royval ethnicity, it'll say Hispanic, right? Let me just read Tatsuro Taira's resume. Alex Perez, Carlos Hernandez, Edgar Shires, Jesus Aguilar, CJ Vergara, Carlos Candelario. What do all those guys have in common? They're all Hispanic. So yeah, I am 100% confident that Border Patrol Taira is going to get the win here easily, comfortably. It's going to be great. And yeah, he should get this W. I think he's just going to out-grapple Royval. I do think Taira's wrestling, pure wrestling, is not like incredible, but his jiu-jitsu is great. I think similar to Pantoja. I think Pantoja is probably a better pure wrestler than Taira, but I reckon Taira is like arguably more dangerous on the ground. Like maybe that's a terrible take. You guys probably will tell me that's retarded. Like no, okay. Is Taira a better overall grappler than Pantoja? No, I don't believe so. But, like, we saw what this dude was doing to Perez when he got him down. Like, first round just kind of felt him out on the feet. Also, mentioning, Royval's not just a one-shot KO guy. Like, he KO'd Nicola, who's chinny, with a knee, not even a punch. Like, I'm not going to pick Royval to just flatline Taira. I doubt that happens. And also, this is actually based off sources. I'll be real with you guys. I'm hearing Pantoja vs Kaya Sakura is the plan for December. Originally it was August, then it was like October maybe. Like they're kind of just fiddling around with it, pause. They're just kind of playing with it, again, pause, like trying to decide where they want to put that fight. They're going to do Pantoja vs Asakura, and I reckon the UFC is hoping for Asakura to beat Pantoja and for Taira to beat Royval, and they can do a Japan vs Japan title fight in Japan, and that would be amazing. But knowing the UFC, they'll get that opportunity and they'll make the fight happen in Las Vegas as the co-main event of a pay-per-view. But I'm picking Taira to win via border control. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, Chris Curtis versus Kevin Holland is official for Salt Lake City as well. That card's shaping up to be real good. I'm going to just read that out. I'll read it out at the end, towards the end, because I got more fights to talk about. But, great fight. Holland versus Chris Curtis just seems like a fight. Like, it seems a bit weird, given, like, what's the fuck's Holland doing? Is he up at middleweight permanently now? You know, he fought Mikhail last fight. Is he just sticking at middleweight? If so, interesting move. Curtis is ranked at middleweight too, so if Holland wins this fight, I'm pretty sure Curtis is ranked. He would have to be, wouldn't he? Let me just see UFC rankings. I think he's like number 15, 14, something like that. Let me double check. Chris Curtis, yeah, he's number 15. So if Kevin Holland wins, yeah, he'll be ranked in 2 divisions. That's pretty cool. Seems like a very Kevin Holland thing to do. He's number 15 at welterweight right now, so he'll be 15 in 2 divisions, I guess. But no, I think I might pick Kevin Holland. I think the lighter weight class skill, as Lucas Tracy always brings up, I think that's going to come into play here. I think Chris Curtis, his last fight was Allen. Allen's not that good. Like, I just have never rated Allen that highly. I still don't rate him that highly. I think Imavov's going to piece him up and finish him. But yeah, I think, actually, Holland, no. Do I pick Holland? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'll watch some tape. Holland just seems like, I think we saw how he did against Buckley. I know Curtis also KO'd Buckley, but like, I think Holland can have a similar style against Curtis. Like, stick at the end of his range. What's Chris Curtis's reach? I actually want to look this up. Chris Curtis. Reach. Well, let me just see if they've got the fight. Sorry, boys. Chris Curtis, reach. Live research right now. 75-inch, and then Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland's got like 81. I want to say 81 inches of reach. Kevin Holland's reach, 81 inches. So yeah, Holland's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage, and a lot of the time we see, maybe not a KO for Holland, I don't think he chins Curtis, but I think it'll look like the Hermanson fight, actually, is what I'm going to say. Well, that's a style where Curtis just gets stuck on the outside and isn't able to just big meaty hooks his way in, and he loses, and he's all frustrated and starts whinging and telling his opponent to trade with him in the center. I think Holland will win. Maybe he gets retarded, does some dumb shit. He's also got a pretty solid grappling base. I don't think he implements it, though. I think this will just be a very solid fight on the feet. I'd like this to be on the prelims, honestly. It's a great fight. I wouldn't complain about it on the main card, but from what I'm thinking, I don't know what the fuck's going to main event 307, because apparently Holloway vs. Ilya is now going to be Abu Dhabi, because Islam's injured. That's not me breaking any news. I've heard that from other people. So apparently that's the go. So maybe Pereira vs. Ankalaev in Salt Lake. Hopefully we don't end up with fucking Pennington versus Pena, because that's the only title fight on the card right now. So maybe it's going to be like a weak main event, but then they stack the card with like a bunch of fun fights, in which case I wouldn't hate it. I'd still hate Pena versus Pennington as a main event. But yeah, Chris Curtis, Kevin Holland. I'll probably early leans Kevin Holland. I think he did open up as the slight favourite. Let me double check. Fight odds. What do they have the opening lines as? Let me just check this. UFC 307. I don't think they have. Oh, yeah, they do. They've got Holland at minus 160. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I think he'll get the win here. Bit too long. Pause. Yeah. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, we got Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira. Yeah, Kayla's going to win. She's a he. He's a she. She's a he. I don't fucking know. Kayla Harrison's a dude. She's going to win. She's roided up to the gills. She's just too strong for everyone. Ketlin Vieira is not a bad fighter. But yeah, because even though it's not officially announced, it's like 95% confirmed Pena versus Pennington's going to be on this card. So it's pretty clear what they're doing. Get Kayla on the same card. Probably have some beef at the press conference. Like, I know we hate women's MMA fighters at the press conference because they just don't do anything interesting. But this actually be interesting. Pena up there, she yaps all the time. Yap out of control. And then Kayla and her will probably go back and forth, and Pennington actually did have some trash talk with Maribono Silva, so I could see it being a half-decent press conference, just a bunch of bitches yapping at each other. But the pick's obviously Kayla Harrison. She'll muscle, roid head her way to a victory. It's going to look like, what's it called, the grappling version of the thing that just took place in the Olympics, the Algerian and the Italian. It's going to be like that, but in grappling. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Danny gave us Lerone Murphy. This is a very good fight. I just cracked my hip there as I tried to sit back down. Dan Ige is going to lose, I believe. I don't know what I'm saying, but no, I do think Lerone Murphy's going to win. I think he's just a more technical, better striker. Now, I know Ige had a good showing against Lopez in the third round. I don't think that really is going to play into factor much. I think the fights that you're looking at to be like, all right, how's Ige going to go in this one, is like the Ige versus Keita fights of like that nature, kind of. That's what I mean. Like the strikers, because a lot of the time when Ige loses, it's just to grapplers, but he does occasionally lose to strikers. Let me get up the Dan Ige record. Because he's like, when he fights unranked guys, he does real well, and he smokes a lot of them. Apart from Nate Landwehr, who he smoked, but he didn't KO him. But he's never been finished, so obviously I don't see Lerone Murphy finishing him. But Lopez loss, Feely KO win, Mitchell grappling-based loss, Landwehr won, Damon Jackson won, Evloev grappling-based loss, Josh Emmett fight arguable robbery, like Chan Sung Jung beat Gavin Tucker, lost to Keita. Like, I think those are the fights you're looking at here. Those striking kind of matchups, Keita style, Barboza style, all of them ones. Murphy, I do think, is improving rapidly. How old's Lerone Murphy? Lerone Murphy. Wait, I can't fucking type Lerone. Oh, what am I doing? Lerone Murphy. How old is he? 33. That's not good. I don't like that. Daniga is somehow younger than this dude. All right, but still, he looked great against Barboza. I reckon he'll edge out a decision 29-28. Bit of a better striker, I think. Can mix in the grappling too. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, we got Charles Johnson versus Suma Derji. Charles Johnson, I do believe, is going to get the win, and I could see him getting it done by KO or TKO as well, which would be cool. And then he can kind of break into the rankings, because Charles Johnson has actually been on a run recently. This fight is taking place October 19th. Now, let me read you guys a stat. If this fight takes place when it is scheduled to, that is going to be Charles Johnson's 5th fight in the space of 11 months. Crazy activity from Charles Johnson. Dude's schedule's been nuts. Like, right, he fought... Let me just read out this guy's schedule. He fought Zhalgas Yumagulov in November 2022, Jimmy Flick January 23, Ode Osborne February 23, Durden April 23, Estevam November 23, Maxim February 24, Hadley May 24, Van July 24, and now he's taking Suma Derji October 24. Crazy stuff. I like it. I do like that attitude to fighting. How many fights this guy got in the UFC total? He's got 9 UFC fights. This is going to be his 10th UFC fight since his debut in July 2022. It's going to be like 2.5 years and he's going to have 10 fights. That's crazy shit. But good job, Charles Johnson. He's never been finished either. Anytime he loses, it's by grappling-based decision, pretty much. I don't think Suma Derji is grappling him. I think Sumidoshi's kind of shit, to be honest. I think he's very awful. You shouldn't be losing to Matt Schnell. But yeah, Charles Johnson's going to win, I reckon, and he'll get a ranked opponent after this, or a proper ranked opponent, because I know Sumidoshi's like been ranked and in and out of the rankings. But yeah, Charles Johnson looking probably for a top 10 guy after this if he wins. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up also takes place on that same card, October 19th. Mateusz Nicolau versus, I don't know why I said Mateusz, like it's not fucking Gamma, he's not Polish. Mateusz Nicolau versus Asu Almabayev. Almabayev's probably gonna win. Nicolau is probably the more skilled fighter, I would say, but I just can't trust his chin at this point. Almabayev's younger, I think. Kazakhstani dude, he's got the wrestling. He can probably just be a bit too physical for Nicolau, and maybe just catch him because Nicolau might not have a chin, like, at all. He might be the new Matt Schnell, and Matt Schnell's going to leave soon, and then we're going to get more Mateusz Nicolau getting KO'd highlights. But yeah, Almabayev should win. Good fight though, another top 10, or another top 15, ranked flyweight fight. So yeah, they're booking up the flyweight division. They got Urseg versus Kai, they got Royval versus Taira, they got these two fights here. Neither of those guys are ranked, but whatever. But like, what else? They just had Kat Makayev, obviously Kat Makayev. What else? They're going to probably book Pantoja versus, what's his name? Asakura. They're probably going to do, I don't know what else they're going to do, something like that. Yeah, whatever. Couple guys are injured too. Perez is injured. Schnell's probably taking time off. Elliott's injured. So yeah, flyweight though, it's actually looking pretty fun. Let's move on though to the next fight. Another fight announced recently. Carla Esparza versus Tisha Torres, Pennington, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to be picking Esparza probably. Fuck knows what's going on with these two. Esparza's coming back after having a kid. Torres also came back after having a kid recently, so this is going to be the battle of the mothers, I guess. I don't know. But who cares? It's on the Salt Lake City card as well, so I'm okay with Harrison on there and Pena because they'll yap, but Esparza versus Torres, bury that shit down on the early prelims. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Ryan Spann somehow manages to lose to OSP. This dude's genuinely more retarded than he looks. And he looks real retarded, and that's got nothing to do with his skin colour. It does, but you know what I mean? It's because he's got a Superman tattoo on his chest that looks like a home job. Anyway, yeah, Spann's retarded. OSP, this is a Dober-approved matchup, black-on-black violence. Dober's got the winner. But no, I'll pick Spann because OSP's shit, but he beat Kennedy Nzechukwu, who's also an athletic but retarded black dude. Spann's an athletic, retarded black dude. So you never know. OSP could get the win. The Unk status OSP, he's just that dude roaming around at fucking 42, just owning up all the youngins, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'll pick Spann to win. This actually taking place in a couple of weeks. It's September 7th card. Pretty short notice fight to add, like 5 weeks notice. What else we got? Best defensive wrestler in the UFC versus the best defensive striker in the UFC. Rebellis Despain versus Austin Lane. That shit rhymes. What am I going to say about this one? I'm picking Rebellis Despain to win probably because I do think even though he's not good, Austin Lane's an NFL player, former NFL player, and I vowed to never pick one of them fuckers again. Austin Lane did just spear tackle Jonata Denise in round 1, so I could see him doing that to Rebellis, but then he just gasses. So maybe Rebellis just doesn't even have the finishing potential to beat a gassed out Austin Lane. That is what we're going to have to ask ourselves here, but ultimately I do think he should get the win. Let's just skim through some other minor ones real quick. Tavares versus Young Park got rebooked. I'll probably pick Tavares, I don't know. Viana versus McKenna, that's a pants around the ankles classic. I'll probably go Viana. Fremd versus Abdulrazak Al Hassan. Abdulrazak Al Hassan should win comfortably. Lerone Murphy, no, I already talked about that. What's his name? Jillian Robertson versus that bitch. I'll pick Robertson. Don't know why she's not fighting a ranked opponent. Jamie Linhorth versus the other bitch. I don't know, who cares. And then Hooker versus Gamrot. I mean, that's kind of old news, but yeah, I'm picking Gamrot, obviously. And then Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Another pants around the ankles classic. But that is the video done, guys. I fucking hell. Haven't done one of these one of these fight announcements reactions in a while. There's been a bunch recently. Big Marcel's been doing work. If you don't follow him already, you're a casual fan. But yeah, that's it, guys. Let me know your predictions for the fights in the comments. And yeah, peace out, boys. See ya. Cheers.